working. It's working! Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. We'll go over what we think in a few minutes. Market's lower on China tariff. Tariffs are very non-consequential. U.S. only ships 6% of their coal to China. China did this knowing it had no major impact. Nothing much on that one. Unfortunately, yesterday we were talking about this upper zone here. Looks like we just went tick and a half into it, and that's where we found the sellers. The never made it there yesterday, but that's where the sellers were. Where do we come back down to? The buyers are down here. So if we draw the hourly of this candle would be huge to the wick here. That would have shown us the big area buyers. But perhaps we can go a little lower into that. Right now we found those buyers, ton of volume, and we're just grinding up. I kind of feel in today. Oh, these are kind of the levels we're looking at. We tested this upper supply we're coming off of now. It would make sense to go down deeper in this demand here, like a new low, before we start going back up. I believe this is the range we're in on the hourly here. Right now we're coming into the top of our range. This supply, so these demand levels in here only accomplish getting us to the sellers. One thing to keep in mind, this demand down here did catch the market. So this is demand, I think, that we will trade off of. And it makes sense that this demand formed on this up move right here. Makes sense that that broke because we did retest it. And then we came off sellers. This is not a demand, and it's right in the middle of our range. So that's not a demand we would trade. Now this candle here showed an imbalance. Like this. Right where options are positioned right here. We have an imbalance down here and options positioned here. So we'll see if we get to one of these areas to take a trade. Looks like we might be coming off buyers, so a push off the open. Let's see, where's the gap? The gap fill is all the way up here as well. Minus 30 points gap right now. Probabilities we go lower. I'm looking for a short, at least down to this area. It's just depending on if we can get something here. This retest. If we would have broken our trend, this retest coming up here might have been interesting. Nine o'clock, we have jolts. Prepare yourself. Prepare for the jolts. That's about it today. Couple Feds talking this afternoon, but not our boy Powell. Nothing to worry about. Oh, we're going to wait till the open. 8:10. We're going to stay patient. Bill Gates says Nvidia's Jensen Huang could be wrong about quantum computing. Is that even news? Hey, this guy could be wrong, you know. I don't know if that's news. Fortunately, yesterday didn't catch, well, let's look at yesterday real quick before we open. We were looking short overnight until this move happened. Boom. Shows us buyers. Looks like we want to fill the gap. We chopped in this area here for a long time. But once we did this down candle here, if we look at both these lows in this range, they both have above average volume. But after this low was put in and we chopped here, then I was way more sure we were just going to go up after that, because that's showing a ton of orders getting filled right here. So since price went up afterwards, those are buys. I'm assuming there's some big buys here to push the market higher after. We did that to the end of the day. We left the day saying if we made it up to the supply, the gap close, we would look for a short. And we did after market opened again, unfortunately, but that would have been a great trade. Even had some nice add points. Unfortunately missed it by, 20 minutes. Actually, it was way towards the end of the day, so probably wouldn't have. If I would have came to my desk after we opened, we might have been able to catch that. We came back down to buyers down here, filled a lot of orders. Now we're floating up. We're coming into the next area of supply. This is what we're currently fighting right now. On the 5-minute, this is looks like the largest supply that's come in this move so far, and we've broken a couple lows. If we were broken out of our uptrend, according to my rules, I would have taken a short here. But also I want to wait for market open, so. On the hourly, we're looking at this hourly range here, like this. And we have options positioning supply up top, options positioning demand down here. But depending on where we go, I'll be looking to take that trade. We're coming off of these sellers. If we can hold in the 60-40s, market opens, give us a little push and come down. We have room down to like 59.70s here. So that would be the trade idea. I want to get a short somewhere up here to bring it down to there. Had a doctor's appointment yesterday, so missed all the action. Came and we sat through this. And then I left like right here. I left like right in this area. It was a nice breakout and retest of the hourly demand right here, almost to the tick, because I would draw it when drawing supply and demand. I'll try to draw to the low. I'm using this hourly candle right here, so we have the low, and if we draw to the price where the imbalance left, it would be the open and close of these candles. Now it looks like we opened up, pushed down, and then right here, boom, that's where we left off. I would draw it like right to the open and close there. And it would have came back and retested right in that area. But that's at the end of the day. Not trading that. Yeah, that looks like that would have been one there, huh? Wait for market open to see what happens. Tariffs delayed till next month. That was one of the scenarios we thought could happen. Tuesday. What do we have? Jolts at 9. That's right. That might jolt us around. Nice little reaction off that zone. Playing around with the calculator app. Some of these numbers are huge. Five more minutes till market open, and 9 o'clock we have jolts. The hourly, looking at these blue lines. Right now we're in this hourly range. We come up, I'll look for sells. Right now we are in this little, we're reacting off of this little supply here. We shall see. 34-point gap down. Most likely we continue, but I'd like to see a pop off the open. Maybe this area. Ideally, if I want to go short, I don't want it to come all the way back up. This looks about half back in the move. Supply here, got retested, big push down, so that's how I'm looking at that. But right now we're breaking out of this this 5-minute uptrend. Boom. My hands are shot today. Ah. Hey. Hey, pretty girl. Wanna lay down here? You wanna lay down? Come here. Get on the bed. You can lay on the bed. Good girl. Oh, I hear you. Oh, you knocking over my water bottle? Don't, don't do that. He's about to bark at me. What is that, open? 8:29, just about. Gustas, what's up, Gustas? All right, buckle up, buddy. Lean and short biased. Right now, I believe we're in this hourly range. Hang on. Stop. Stop. Sorry about the doggy. A push up. The 60-40s are the top of our range off the open. We'll look for a sell setup. And I think well, there's here, let me zoom this out real quick. There's options positioning and the supply up here. That's around 60-60s. There's options positioning and this demand around 50-60s down here. So if we push up off the morning, I'll be looking around anywhere 60-40s or higher. I'll be looking for supply to form on the 5-minute to bring it down to the bottom of our range if we can get there. Perhaps we just go straight down off the open and get down here quickly. Then I will look to take some demand down here. Right in the middle. Unfortunately, yesterday, we made it to our seller zone after the market closed. We got a really nice reaction off of it. Boom. That's unfortunate, but things happen, you know. Abdul, hi, how are you doing, man? I'm doing great. How are you, Abdul? If you didn't hear my little breakdown of what I kind of think we're in this hourly range on the left. If we open up and push up a little bit, I'd like to take a short to bring it all the way down here. If we start breaking down, I'm not going to chase it, and we'll look for longs at the bottom. I'm new to your channel, man. I like it. Hey, I appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm just trying to share my view on the market. I'm really confident in what I do at this point, and I hate the trading space. I hate the influencers in the trading space, so I'm just trying to fight back a little bit, get some good information. My style is super patient and just looking for those really good home runs, which isn't for everyone, but supply and demand concepts all work the same. So let's say you want to take quicker trades, use a smaller chart. You could use the same concepts and do that. That's just not my style. I'm good, man. Just watching. Been messing up lately, so taking a mental break. Sometimes that's the best. Yeah, like yesterday, we were stuck in this chop zone for like the whole time I streamed. We were just in here, and I just walked away. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes not the day's not giving you what you want. You're not at the right price levels that you want to be at. It's okay to take a break. You don't have to trade every day. Yeah, I don't like them either. Yeah. Either way, my problem these days is entry. Well, I feel pretty confident about my entries. But it's all, excuse me. Let me take the dogs out and we'll talk about entries. Let them play out there a little bit and burn off some energy. I was saying with entries, so I use supply and demand. We can go over that, but on the most basic point of entries, this is how I was taught to try to reshape my thoughts, right? So if we look at yesterday, the 5 minute on the right, there's only a certain amount of bars in a day, right? That's a fact. I don't remember how many 5 minute bars are in a trading session, but there's only this many, right? So if we're long bias, say we're long bias, we have a plan, maybe we hit some kind of level down here or whatever. I only want to buy at the best price possible. So what does that mean in the simplest form? That means I only want to buy on a red candle. I only want to sell on a green candle, right? That is the best price. So I talked about there's only so many bars in a day. So why would I waste a buy on a green candle? Right? If I think it's going to be an up day, there's going to be more green candles than red candles. Green candles means I'm getting a worse price. Red candles mean I'm getting a better price. So I only want to buy on the red candles. I only want to buy at the best price. You know, buy low, sell high in the simplest form. That's actually when I was still becoming profitable. One of the things I did was just, if I have a bias, I'm literally just going to buy like after 2 red candles. And if I get stopped out for a few points, I'll wait for like 2 more red candles. And then I'll throw in another buy. And if I get stopped out, I'll wait for 2 more red candles. Because eventually, you know, that's not really me. I was guessing at, but, you know, trying to get the best price. And as far as supply and demand is concerned, so that's entering, trying to get the best price with our entries. Supply and demand, I'm waiting till we come back to our zones. So on this up move here, we create demand here, right? So I wouldn't have, maybe if I was super aggressive, I'd get in there, but I probably would have missed that. I would have waited for the retest of it. And look at that, we're coming down, giving us the best price into it. And once we hit it in here, we bought one of these red candles. That's the bottom of that swing, you know? Well, if we get an entry today, we'll go over it more. But simply just using the price imbalances and focusing on getting the best price. I'll let the dogs in real quick. Abdul, the 5 minute is what I use for entries. Yeah, I love the 5 minute. I think it's not as noisy. It's a nice day trading time frame, I think. Jolts at 9 o'clock. Eustace, also when you enter your trade, do you sometimes exit manually or always either hit TP or that kind of depends on the market. Like for instance, we hit sellers last night when we reopened, but right in the zone we were talking about. So I would have gotten in a position somewhere, maybe on this retest here, and I would have taken one out at 20 points. I always take one out at 20 points because that's my base hit. That is my stay alive trade, right? I could take 2 losses from that one contract, and you know, it keeps the P&L level. And then once we start going down further, my goal would be to trail supply or demand that forms. So this is kind of messy here. Let me clean this up. You know, I get in somewhere over here. I take one out at 20 points, which would be down here. And now once this is forming, I would move my stop above this supply here, because I don't want this one to break. And then we would hold, and then we would get this push down to breaking these lows. New supply forms here. I would move my stop above this supply. Now at this point, when we get an exaggerated move, that's where I want to start. If we get a huge move in the direction we're going, you can't just think it's going to keep going, okay? So at this point, I would do something like trailing the prior bar low, which just means I would take my stop above every bar that closed. So on this down bar closes, my stop is up here. The next down bar closes, my stop is right here. The next down bar closes, my stop is right here. And then it moves down here, and then it moves down here, and I would get stopped out on this up bar. So by trailing the prior bar closes high, the prior bar high, sorry, I don't know why I said close, we can try to capture as much of that move as possible, because breaking the prior bar's high is the first sign buyers are stepping in. So I'd be perfectly good to take some profits right there. We wouldn't have caught the whole thing, but we would have been able to stay in for a few more points. One of my strategies I kind of have looked at is when we have a dump like that and have a zone on the higher time frame and wait the one on the lower time frame to enter. Yeah, these moves, okay, so a lot of times, see how we're trending down this whole way for hours. We're trending down. And then this happens. That's an exhaustive type move. That's like the exhaustion at the end of the trend, right? The capitulation move. We get a huge volume down here. And then on this up move, we create this demand. And that is our trade. If we wanted to get in on the swing, we'd be taking a buy here. Now, also, if you're trading supply and demand, you would say, this is demand here too as well, right? You know, we did push up. We did break this high. That's demand, surely. And we do get a reaction from it. But the buyers, the true buyers, the ones that created this imbalance, are below that. That makes sense. Just started talking, not even watching the markets. And we're looking to push up off the open to go short, perhaps in this area here. Why that area? On the hourly, we paused in this area and then pushed down. And then we also retested it before we push lower again. So supply. But proven supply, it has been retested and showed us a reaction from it. You see these levels real quick. Oh, I'm trying to resize a window. It's so difficult. All right, let me see. 15. Yep, right down here. Right down there. And 60, 35. Yeah, right up here. Okay, so there's... If you look in the description, I use this free thing called Trading Edge. Great resource. If you don't use it, I would highly suggest it. They're a London like trading firm, and he just posts his information for free from Bloomberg Terminal too. So what he says is that there's a iron condor options positioning from this high up here and right down here. So right about where these top and bottom levels are, there's an iron condor. So exactly what we were saying, it would make sense to hold in that area. Let's see what we have below it. 6,000. This is 6,000. if we break out of the iron condor to the upside, which is not likely, then expect a reversal. Okay, interesting. Let's see where that's at. Oh yeah, right up here. We have this here, which I'm gonna just mark over here. That blue area is just a low volume area. So one thing I think I showed it in a couple of my videos, but if you look inside, use like a volume profile tool to look at previous swings in the market. Hard to tell. But right in this area where this blue zone is, there's obvious dip in volume. So I will pay attention to obvious dips in volume like that. It just shows us an area where price did not spend a lot of time. We could have not spent a lot of time there because there were such large orders. They just pushed us out. So maybe there's large orders sitting there. There's resting orders. Also, price will just kind of gravitate to those areas. So we just want to be aware. It's kind of like a gap to fill. That one's not too empty by any means, but it's obviously a low area. We didn't break this. I'll be looking for this to break down. If we can, hold these tops here. We're in like smaller supply here. That's what we're fighting with right now. Ideally, I'd like to see a little push up. Focus for now. We can talk later. Yeah, sometimes I get into it and I was like, oh wait, it's like 8:30 right now. I totally forgot. I go into video mode. It's like, oh, let's talk about things. Abdul, you said you're taking a break. Gustas, are you trading today? Since tariffs didn't go through, it makes sense just to continue up our on the daily time frame. I'll continue up just like the market always chugs along. But there's just some uncertainty. Yuki, good morning. Hello, hello. Yuki, this is what we're looking at. Quick rundown for you. On the hourly here on the left, we're looking at this range. I want to see a push up to go lower. I'm looking maybe in the 60-40s, or if we get to the top of this range, there's options position up here. If we fall down and miss the down move, we'll look for buys around this demand and these options down here. It looks like we will probably stay in this range today if I had to guess. Gonna try to trade? Yeah, all right. Stay patient, stay patient. I blew all my accounts and evals because of a bunch of things, not taking my time, rushing, FOMO, etc. So I just said to myself to relax for a bit. Yeah, you know, don't feel like because you're not making money, don't feel like you're wasting your time. Just watching the charts. Go ahead, you know, whatever you use. I use supply and demand, but I'll just sit here. Boom. Okay, supply. Boom, boom, boom. All right, boom, boom. Came down here to get some demand, and just mark it out. Mark it out. You know, draw some trends. See, okay, well, if we draw a trend, you know, something like this, we could see it breaks here and retest this supply. That would have been a decent trade. We were talking about that zone. I said I would have sold that if we would have broken the trend more that I liked. Right now we're topping right here. Interesting. Working on supply and demand right now. Yeah, I would say I wish that's what I started with. Right? I feel like I wasted, not wasted, but should have been focusing on supply and demand. All supply and demand are imbalances in price, right? It's just price action. When price stops and turns in this point, there are buyers here who turned the market and sent it higher to new recent highs. You know, that is an imbalance. This is the price area we want to be interested in. Everything in between the imbalances doesn't matter. Just care about those, the good ones. Are you on IG? Is that Instagram or SO? I don't know what that is. I know what Instagram is. I don't know what SO is. I'm not on Instagram just because I don't really use social media too much. Reddit and YouTube. It broke these highs. We're going to continue this uptrend that we have. And we're going to look up here in this area to make some sort of supply. Oh, Discord. Yeah. Discord is linked. Oh, I don't know what happened to your message, but I read it. It might have been, I don't know if there's an auto moderator. There must be an auto moderator. Hang on, let me. It blocked another guy's. None. No moderation. We're free. Okay. Discord in the link in the description of the video. Kind of throw some ideas back and forth. But I just threw it together like last week, so all of this is not developed by any means. I have a resources tab in there. Just a bunch of things that I've used or have found useful over the years. Just a bunch of links and crap. Yeah, right up here would be a good short, but I want to see price show me. I wanted to show me the imbalance. So just like this picture here. So what happened? Let me draw it. We were moving up, made a new high, chopped. Boom. On this down move, don't look at all the candles, just look at from the high to the low. On this down move, we created an imbalance. A sell imbalance. So now, when we retest that sell imbalance, I want to sell. So I want to see that same picture just right up here. I want to see the 5-minute show me. You know, we broke these lows here. Boom, sell imbalance. Where's the sell imbalance from? It's from this high and this candle. I mean, I would draw it like this. So it wouldn't have quite made it back to it, but if you use the whole candle, boom. So same picture like this, pull back into it. That's what I want to see. It takes a lot to meet like the criteria, but they're low risk, you know. Also, have you ever done options instead of futures? What are your opinion on options? I think options are good. I have only dabbled. I don't like the time decay. I feel like options are more worth it if you're doing some advanced option things like opening up, this position, the butterflies and stuff like that. I think you could really take advantage of the market doing that. But futures are also leveraged and they're just more straightforward, I think they're just better to trade. Less variables, up or down, you know. Nice. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, post any questions. I see ya. I don't know if this is going to be the imbalance that price is going to react to. I don't know which one it's going to be. And that's why we look at the smaller time frame. Hopefully paint us a picture and allow us to enter. Sometimes it leaves us behind because we're waiting for all those clues to present themselves. But it only takes a handful of good trades. Trading is so hard mentally. This is my first year. Okay. Going into my second, and slowly it's making more sense, but it's still hard. Yeah. Trading is the hardest thing I've done. It's like you have to you're looking into a mirror of your flaws, a mirror of your emotions, a mirror of your shortcomings, and you have to handle them. And it's not easy to do. You have to accept your faults, accept that there's things that you don't know, and there's I think we're all really impatient. We just want to make money, and that's why like on this, any trades that I take, it's just a combine. Don't even worry about it. I'm not here to show thousands of dollars rolling across the screen. You just want to take a couple $100 out of the market. You take good trades and you build it up over time. You build up your skill set along with your account over time. But it's going to take time. Some more than others. Some people have that mindset. Some people can really just not care about the money. I feel like I'm about there now. I don't really care about the money anymore. Nine o'clock. Let me just check something real quick. People need to focus more on the process. You need to focus on the process of the learning and of price action and building a rule base for yourself. If you focus on the process, then the money will come. So that zone didn't even give us anything, right? So that's why I want to see the 5-minute form that supply. These are hourly zones. They're strong, but, maybe not as precise. I want to see the weakness come in. So how would we enter? We talked about yesterday, if we came up to this red zone, we would have been looking for shorts, but it happened when market reopened. So what would we have done? So on this, On this down wick here, we broke these lows. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. We knew we hit sellers. Boom, that proves a sell imbalance. This is the high here. You know, this is the supply candle, this down candle. So retesting it right here. If goes down, boom, supply, boom, retest, boom. That's the imbalance we're looking for. We broke through that zone. We're 15 points from yesterday's close. That would bring us right up to the top of our range here. Took me a long time to get where I'm at, which is kind of why I'm doing this as a hobby, because I feel comfortable enough now putting myself out there, I guess you can say. If I say something, it's going to be based on price. You know, a lot of people that you watch, at the end of the day, they're not really saying. It's easy to break down price after it happened, you know? Well, if you have any video idea, I have video on entering trades and why. But if there's anything specific you'd like covered or talked about, you know, feel free to leave a note in the Discord or what have you. What the heck? We're moving up. Moving up, moving up. Looks like we want to go to the 60-60s if we get there. That would be primo. Now, the one time I wouldn't perhaps wait for an imbalance to show itself on the smaller time frame is like a spot up here. If we got a good move up here, I might just take a green candle short because we're at the top of our range on the hourly. We're in our supply. We know it's supply. And also there's options positioned up there. So is that going to be a reversal point? I don't know. But we should see a reaction. Probabilistic that we see a reaction. Sorry. And as you learn more, make sure you're always humbling yourself, or the market will, right? My friend Derek said he was going to be on today to do some trading. He's breaking over that profitability edge right now. I think we worked together like a year ago, and he's come a long way, so we'll see if he gets on, see what he wants to talk about. Tariffs are delayed by 30 days. We'll see if we play this whole game over again in another month. That'll be interesting market conditions. Oh, got tired eyes. Need some caffeine. Gap close is right up here. Honestly, I might just take a short off of gap close. Just to see if it'll stick. Another thing about my trading style is I just try to be different. Everyone's like, okay, do we do a 1-to-1 risk reward? How about a 1-to-2? We know 1-to-2 is better. Oh, what about a 1-to-3? Okay, we don't want to go over that. And I thought, like, how can I get, like, just obscene reward on my trades and risk very little? So I think, like, over this time streaming, we've only had a handful of good trades, but we're up. Here, this is the prop account. We're up $800 over like a week and a half. Trading very small. But yeah, it only takes a couple of trades. Only takes a couple good trades. Let's see if it gives us a reach. I'm looking more daily. In order for me to enter short, I just want to see us get to that gap close and the zone. Ideally, it would have been right here on this bar. I don't want to see chop, or if this extends up, we take that. Like 3 points higher. I'm looking for like 55 here. Yeah, like 55. That's an aggressive trade. I like to let price play out, but it's all lining up how we were expecting so far. So no point in not taking a little stab at the market. All right, we're just gonna do that. Ideally, it was a little higher, but we'll take a couple stabs if we get this capitulation move upwards here, which is what we were looking at the beginning of the day. Want to move up off the open. I didn't think it was going to move this high. Well, that makes sense. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Oops. 60. Iron Condor is a little higher up. I want to talk about a little bit of my entry style, why I enter. I'll use 4-point stop, 1 profit at 20 points. So that is if I hit that 20 point, that's a 2.5 R on my trade, and then I'm break even. At that point, I'm looking for the full reversal, so I'll try to add to my position. And if it works out, that's great. If it doesn't, it's a base hit, right? So then what your P&L ends up looking like is you got small loss, base hit, small loss, base hit, small loss, base hit, and we just kind of hover in this area, and then we get we catch a reversal. Boom, there we go. And we take a small loss, base hit, boom, small loss, couple base hits like this. Oh, boom, finally hit that reversal point. So our P&L stays almost flat during our quote-unquote drawdown period, our losing periods, and then our reward is just exponential, and we try to take advantage of as much reward as possible. We want to skew our our reward as much as we can. In my opinion, in my style. So we'll see if this works. Just took the stab because what we wanted to see was a push off the open. These were huge green bars right into supply. Not only supply and options positions up here, top of our range. So I felt like it was worth taking the risk just to throw on a position up there. Does it work out? I don't know. If it doesn't, that's fine. We'll just rinse and repeat. Being good, being a good girl. You guys have been pretty quiet today. And I think it's supposed to be nice out. We'll play with the doggies later outside. Not right now. I said the word. The idea today is that we go short down into the 59.60s and kind of stay in this range. We'll see, though. We'll see. At any point, anything, any kind of announcement could come out. Trump trade advisor Navarro. U.S.-China call to take place today. Europe is sticking it to the US with their VAT tax, won't buy American cars. Why can't we all be friends, guys? You waited on the pullback, right, to get on the lower time zone from what I see. Yeah. Well, this trade, I did not wait for the 5 minute to paint me a picture like I normally do. I just threw it on once we hit our supply area. But ideally, we could do something like this and create supply and then retest it to go lower. So on this retest over here is when I would ideally short. But things are lining up. I feel perfectly fine to take a couple stabs up here with low risk just to see if we could catch it. We could go up till 9:30 time, like a reversal time. That would put us a little bit deeper, perhaps. But we'll do the same thing. Say if we reach right where our stop is, essentially. Get this high. Looks like it'll go up a little further. It's 60.60. I'll resell that right there. I don't want the gap to sell without us. And a little bit more buyers to push this next candle up. Otherwise, if it starts breaking down, then we'll wait for our retest of supply. Right now, these are just guesses in a high probability zone. This is not, I'm not waiting for supply to form on the smaller time frame. I'll take one more stab like that if we can get to 60.60. Otherwise, we'll wait for some sort of supply to form to get a retest. See what she wants to do. Hitting 660 at 9:30 would be perfect. I really have to pee, but we're also just right here. I want to see what happens. If it breaks the lows, then that means it'll form supply, so then I'll go pee. Or if it gets to 660, I'll take a short and then I'll go pee. I'll make a decision. I'm just gonna go pee. I can't wait. Was our stop loss the high? That happens sometimes. That happens sometimes. I'll retest of that. I'll throw that in. That's an aggressive retest. Ideally, this candle closes down here. But we broke the lows. So, and we're in the area that we want to be in. I got these bug bites in the back of my leg, and they're so just itchy. I don't understand. It warmed up one day. A bunch of bugs came out. This short is just aggressive short off of this. Once we broke this low here, that would technically make this supply. Might knock us out again, though. That'd be unfortunate. Then, if that happens, we'll really wait for a picture to paint itself. These were both aggressive trades. I can only sit cross-legged until my legs fall asleep. Just to go over what we're looking at again, as in the hourly on the left. We're in this range now, and we're coming into the top of our range. There's also options positioning up here. Thinking that we came up, reacted to the supply, pushed lower. Now the buyers are down here. So I think we want to go a little lower. But this is the last bastion to hold. This has to hold here where we're at. Otherwise, we can go up to like 6,100. Try not to think of the news too much. Just let the market do what it wants to do. It's gonna be like yesterday where we got to move up and then we sat in this range all day. Get to move up. Tuesday. I think we had all the news. Fed Bostic speaks at 10. Fed Daily speaks at 1. They won't say anything crazy. In the description below, there's a Discord link if you want to chat after hours. And there's also a link to Trading Edge, it's called. It's a good platform with just market information. This is from a London firm. Just a couple dudes that work there, and they just share their thoughts and ideas, and it's pretty they have very good information. I wouldn't promote it if they didn't, and also it's completely free. So up to you. Looks like we want to go higher after breaking that. Still look around 60-60 for one. Yeah, I think so. One more attempt at aggressiveness. I'm trying to be more aggressive. Usually, I wait for the smaller time frame to play out. But a lot of times, the ideas are right. And it just doesn't play out exactly how I want. So if I would have just been more aggressive, I would have been in the trade. Double top type pattern. We can make a more aggressive trend here. It's going straight up off the open. Let's go over our idea today is we wanted to see a push up off the open into here, or where we're at right now. Now we're looking for an entry. Took a couple stabs. Small risk, small loss. Trying to get on the train. The reversal train. Is there guaranteed to be a reversal here? No, I have no idea, dude. We're just going to play the probabilities, and eventually we'll be right. Then I'm going to take as much as I can. Give me all your money, market. I'm already thinking about what's for lunch today. I think I'll make a healthy lunch. Run around with the dogs this afternoon. Is it more likely to go up at this point because of the higher highs and higher lows? So that does put us into like this 5-minute trend. So, we're in an uptrend until we're not, right? So that is pushing us higher, but this is a very strong area. Making another high or making another low into supply or demand. You'll see that picture like on the hourly here. We made one more low from this move just to grab the rest of the buyers. So when you're in those important zones, that could just be like a liquidity grabber, I think is what the kids say nowadays, I'm gonna sell 54. We'll see. See what happens. But depending on where we're at, right? If we are making higher highs and higher lows, and there's no supply right there, like we have this supply right here. So if this was happening, the same picture, like down here where we found our first reversal, like down here. Yeah, absolutely, man. We're going up. Like I would just say up, 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 up until we're getting to supply. Then you kind of have to be like, all right, well, higher high is bullish, but if we are in a strong level, that could be the end of the move. So depending on where you're at in price between the levels, if you have space, quote unquote space between the levels. I was thinking about selling 54.25 here, which is the low of this bar, because we did make slightly a higher high. And then if we take out the low, that prior bar, that's the first sign on a lower time frame we're creating supply. So that would have also been aggressive. But painting the same picture, we didn't make to 60-60. 50-58. But this is technically right now, this is supply now. So if we took out these lows here, like this, maybe did something like that. ABC correction to continue lower. I would sell this supply zone here. But we're not going to be, we took 2 losses. We're going to be more, go back, those were some, frankly, just guesses, right? We were in the right area, but the smaller time frame didn't show us that imbalance yet. This picture would show us the imbalance on the 5-minute from this where we believe the sellers are. And you'll see that I don't take a bunch of trades. There's some traders that are like, you'll watch, they're almost always in a position. Now, if that's their strategy, that's one thing. But I think there's a lot of guessing going on. Well, all we can do is try to stack as many odds in our favor as possible. So that could be trend direction, that could be supply and demand levels, that could be where we're at in our range. But at the end of the day, if we don't see a reaction from where we're at right now, or a little higher, all we're doing is fighting those orders. So if this can just hold and keep fighting, there's no reason why it can't go higher. We're just trying to play the probabilities. If we can break this structure here. Still fighting. We're still fighting back. I have a German Shepherd and a Australian cattle dog. Such good dogs. Like I said, we're looking for a breakdown of this here. And then we'll get in on a retest of supply. We've broken this uptrend. I'm hoping this candle right there that pulled back wasn't the retest. It could have been. On the hourly on the left, we're looking at this range we have right here. There's also options on the high and low of these areas and supply and demand levels. So that's what we're looking to trade off of, take advantage of, hopefully. So far, we got stopped out at like the high, near the high of the day. All right, Gustas, thanks for hanging, man. Luck to you as well. Have a wonderful day. The best day. Have the best day. And don't wish me luck. We don't use luck here, all right? Just probabilities. All right, I'll take a little bit of luck, all right? Not going to argue against luck. Thanks for hanging though, man. Who argues against a little bit of luck, right? Going for that low. I want it to break that low to show the imbalance. I mean, the imbalance is showing a little bit, but right now we're in this range. Anything in this range that's occurring right now doesn't matter. These are the high and lows. Unless you wanted to trade the range, then you could, but if that would have broken the low, it came back to the zone, that's what we wanted. But it didn't. Maybe it didn't paint the exact picture I was looking for, huh? Still in this range. Once you create a range in the market, you just try to play the extremities. This is just a range on the 5 minute, so I'm not gonna play a couple points back and forth. But we're trying to do the same thing on the hourly. Still keeping our trade or our day idea today. We're at the top of this hourly range coming into supply. There's also options positioning slightly higher, but we're coming into that as well. So looking for shorts up here. Right back a sec. All right, we're doing some almonds for breakfast. Oh, yeah. Okay, made a new high. Ba-ba. Okay, okay. Still looking about. Oh, I made 60-60, huh? Yeah. Ah, you see? We spent a lot of time up here now. Essentially just waiting now to see for price to show us where the sellers are. Not right here. They're not at 57. Could they be at slightly above there? Or they could be right above. We'll see. Yeah, the 5-minute reacts. So we formed right now demand right here by going higher and continuing our trend. So we form this demand. Oops. We form this demand right before the supply level. So now it wouldn't surprise me if we go through this supply. If we start pushing through this, then the next area I would say is 6,100. What? You have to go outside again? Ah, dogs. It's finally warming up a bit, so like every hour the dogs are like, can we go outside again? Yeah, I let them. No harm, no foul. Like I was saying, we formed demand right before the supply. It would make perfect sense to go through it at this point. But we still have some options positioned here. So we're not through it until we're through it. I'm just saying I'm going to let this play out and see if the 5-minute will show us an imbalance first. feel like almonds are so much work to chew. Be right back. All right. Grindy, grindy. We have to remember too that this zone that we're in right now, it is supply. It's a retest of this other supply that we were looking at to short yesterday. Have to get some water. Stay hydrated. Still grinding. We did we took some aggressive shorts like right up here. They got stopped out. Now we're just waiting to see if we see any reaction from the zone. Also, there's options right up here too, so just a matter of time. Hey, you guys were... Sorry about the dogs. They're wild. Ooh. Hi. Don't you grab my shoe, doggy. Got my eyes on you. She's thinking about it. She's thinking about grabbing the shoe. They just wait for me to look back. Come here. Girl. If my room wasn't a disaster, I would show you the dogs. It's a disaster. That's not too bad. It's just lived in. Looks like today was a lie. Derek said he was going to grace us with his company. If I had a dime, if I had a nickel. What? You were just out. You're just trolling me now. I told you we'd play later. I do this every morning. Yeah. Come here. About to be loud again. So we're in a 5-minute uptrend until we're not. We're waiting for the until we're not. You should I love using trends, or I call them market ranges. They're not gonna let me talk. What was I talking about? I was gonna bring up a point. Oh, market ranges. So like, oh no, what the heck just happened here? I don't know what happened with it, but anyways, like this, it's just a range in the market, right? And if we're uptrending, we want to buy at the bottom of our range and sell at the top. Market's always in some sort of range. We're just trying to figure out what it is. You could figure out the range it's in, then you could utilize the buy low, sell high in that range. Usually quite a few times before it changes again. Let me get rid of this want supply we're in just to clean it up a bit. Oh, how do I select this? Sitting right around yesterday's close now. Kind of a similar picture come up. You know, we make a high and a low, and we sit in this high and low until we finally break higher. That just kind of what happened yesterday. Made a high, made a low, that in it until we broke higher. The lack of any reaction in price now that we're getting into the zone 60-60s I was talking about, not giving me too much confidence in that we don't want to go a little higher now. But this supply we're in, this range isn't broken until it's broken. So would make sense on the hourly. Let's go up to here, pull back to demand, and start an uptrend. If that makes a new high, our uptrend would look like this, and that would make a lot of sense. That's what we're talking about over the next several days. As far as what we're trying to trade is a reaction short somewhere up here, but it could go up to 6100. I was expecting sellers. Well, 10:30 is coming up right now. If we don't find sellers then, perhaps look not until later. This song. It makes it sound like I'm rubbing against my mic in my ears. Not me, it's the song. Like that noise. Where's my... This high is 67.75. And we'll start an uptrend right there. One more. 66.75. One more point. So this pause right here, this was the reaction from these sellers. And you know, sometimes that's all you get. We have a good idea where the sellers are. There were, in fact, sellers there. That's the only point we paused, right? But they weren't the sellers. I say that, but we have to break this high first. I think we'll see how things react up here, and then we'll leave with a plan for the day. I want to see if it breaks this hourly range. Start an hourly uptrend. Well, we'd be looking at one of these higher areas here. This is getting to about max facial hair for me. It gets too itchy. Gotta shave it off. Didn't see a reaction off this first zone that we wanted. Let's see if we can break this high. But it's just going to tease us, I'm sure. My forearms are just toast. Did a lot of hanging on bar exercises and like farmers carry with dumbbells yesterday. It hurts. It hurts. What is it? 60, 67, 75 is the high. Right up here. when there's levels you want to see price hit, it just takes so long to get those couple points. Man, I just wanted to see if we get 1 point higher, and it's taken like 15 minutes so far. So we'll leave with this plan, right? 60, 67.75 is the high we have to break. If we break that high, we'll be on an hourly uptrend then. And then it would make sense to go to either 60.80 for a potential sell or 6100 for a potential sell. If we start breaking down here and break this demand, I'll look for a retest of supply to bring this down lower back into our hourly range. We have like this open demand here to look out for. But we'll try to trade through lower. Just depending on what happens, if we break 60.75, 67.75, we start our hourly uptrend, we potentially look higher for the sellers. If we start breaking down where we're at, then we'll look to sell some supply that forms. Yeah, and I'll be on tomorrow about the same time, and we'll see if we can rock it. If I catch any trades today, I'll make a recap video going over, or if something interesting happens today, we'll go over it as well. Thanks for hanging, thanks for talking, thanks for asking questions.